Get ready for skies above East Tennessee to come alive. It's WATE 6 on your side's countdown to the air show. Brought to you by Twin City Dealerships. Now, here's Ryan O'Donnell.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Ryan O'Donnell, and welcome to the WATE 6 on your side countdown to the air show special. We're on the tarmac here at McGee-Tyson Airport, and I can tell you the organizers have been working real hard to make sure the air show runs smoothly, and I can promise you it's going to be amazing. Now, a lot of excitement has been building here. The air show 3 days away now, but you're probably tired of waiting, so here's what you're going to see in the next half hour.
It's been quite a wild ride.
If me being here inspires somebody to try something that they normally wouldn't, then that's great.
I have the best job in the world.
My airplane wasn't designed for aerobatics.
I feel it is an honor.
I was aboard that C-130, and the ride was absolutely incredible. I'm going to take you along for the entire flight in the full story coming up. But as you know, the big plane isn't the only staple of the Blue Angels fleet. You're more likely to recognize the F-A-18 Hornets. The Blue Angels maneuvering those jets into special formations, flying just inches away from each other. Even when they land and taxi, they're in line and precise. Now, seeing them perform is something you'll always remember. But this year is even more special because the famous Blue Angels are celebrating their 70th anniversary. They're back, the world-famous Blue Angels. 2 weeks ago, they were in Key West, Florida, and so were we, catching up with their new flight leader in the #1 plane, Commander Ryan Bernacchi.
It's been quite a wild ride, but I'll tell you, as challenging as it is, it's even more rewarding.
Commander Bernacchi remembers being amazed by the Blue Angels as a kid in California, and now he's the one putting on the show.
When you just see a kid's face light up, I didn't know what that would look like from this perspective, and so that was a very pleasant surprise, and I knew it would be very challenging on the other side of it, so I was bracing for that and was very eager to jump into it and learn how to fly the demo.
Now, you're that guy now on the poster.
I guess so, yeah.
Navy pilots apply for the Blue Angels and are chosen by the outgoing crew. Commander Bernacchi was accepted this past November and thrilled to get a spot in the elite demonstration team after flying for the Navy for 20 years.
Blue Angel flying is very unique. It's, precision is what it's all about, and we do all the same things that you would do operationally in an airplane, but we do them closer together and closer to the ground and closer to people.
The Blue Angels are celebrating 70 years this year, making it the second oldest formal flying aerobatic team in the world. They fly an F-18 Hornet and will perform in more than 70 shows in 34 locations in a single year.
Sailors and Marines around the world, they're out there right now doing the nation's bidding. They're serving in harm's way, and that's something that we don't take lightly, and something that we're very proud to represent back at home.
We want to make sure you know everything there is to know about the Smoky Mountain Air Show. It's been 16 years, so a lot has changed since the last air show. One of the big things is parking. You can no longer park on the base. Now, we're actually standing in the blue lot. This is just one of the lots available here where thousands of cars will be parked over the weekend. Now, general admission to the air show itself is absolutely free, but you have to pay for parking, and there's 3 designated lots to get parking passes for. Saturday passes almost sold out, but there's plenty of passes still available for Sunday. Now, another thing to keep in mind, you cannot park at the airport itself. And don't park along Alcoa Highway. I'm told it's an easy way to get your vehicle towed. Coming up a little later in the show, we're going to talk about what you can and cannot bring to the air show, some of the cool stuff you're going to see, and how to win VIP tickets. But first, we're catching up with a pilot who was down in Key West and is bringing his act to East Tennessee, pushing his aircraft to the limits, doing things the plane wasn't designed to do. We're talking about Matt Youngkin and his 1943 Twin Beach 18. See what he has planned for his performance coming up next.
Countdown to the Air Show, brought to you by Twin City Dealerships.
On behalf of the 300 team members at Twin City Dealerships, we are proud to sponsor the TV coverage for the Smoky Mountain Air Show, which honors the men and women of our military and helps support the Honor Air program that is so important to our veterans.
WATE 6 on your sides, Countdown to the Air Show, brought to you by Twin City Dealerships.
The Blue Angels aren't the only performance drawing a crowd at the air show. Civilian pilots will also be there showing off their aerobatic skills in the air. One of them certainly pleasing the crowd down in Key West, Florida. So we asked him how he got started and what it takes to learn how to fly such a dangerous routine. Built in 1943, this Twin Beech 18, piloted by third-generation aviator Matt Youngkin, is doing things the plane was never meant to do. We got to preview his performance in Key West before he heads north to Knoxville for the Smoky Mountain Air Show.
My airplane wasn't designed for aerobatics, so it's a transport type airplane, and so you got to be really careful with it.
Despite having other planes in his air show arsenal, he says the crowd favorite by far is the Beech 18.
It's the only one in the world of its kind actually on the air show circuit, doing loops and rolls and Cuban 8s and such for the crowd.
Matt grew up as an air show junkie. His dad, Bobby Youngkin, is considered one of the greatest air show pilots of all time. And his grandfather, Jim, he's well known for designing the autopilot used in aircraft after World War II. Now, Matt started flying at 14 years old and learned many of his aerobatic skills by flying smaller radio-controlled models.
You know, some of the veterans, when they see an airplane like mine or some of the other airplanes that you'll have flying at your event, it brings back memories of, you know, good times when they were defending our country.
And while we were down there, we saw Matt Youngkin actually get married on the tarmac. So if you happen to run into him this weekend, feel free to congratulate him on being a newlywed. Here's another Air Show 101 reminder, what you should bring. A Key West Air Show spectator has some advice.
Definitely bring a chair and patience and a lot of water.
Well, unless you bought a VIP upgrade, you'll have to bring your own chairs, and trust us, you'll be glad you did. Keep in mind, you'll want to bring something foldable that's easy to carry and comfortable, since you'll be there for most of the day. Now, besides the chairs, you can bring small purses or diaper bags and strollers, but tents, coolers, backpacks, and umbrellas are not allowed. For the full list of prohibited items, just visit our website, WATE.com. We still have much more to share with you tonight. We're talking with the voice of the Smoky Mountain Air Show, Rob Ryder, to find out what his job is really like. Then coming up after that, we have a special look at Honor Air Knoxville and the local veterans being honored on today's flight to Washington, D.C. We'll also take you inside Fat Albert, our cameras capturing what happens when you hit those negative G's. And now we have good news for everybody watching right now. We have a Saturday parking pass plus 4 VIP community chalet tickets up for grabs. That means 4 reserved seats, bathroom access, and a catered lunch. You just have to stick around to the end of the show, and we'll tell you how to win these tickets. We'll be right back. Air shows are fast-paced. Yeah, you're going to see some planes on the ground like these here, but a lot of the action is up in the sky, and it's easy to miss some of the spectacular stunts that are done in the air, which is why air show announcers are that important. They tell you when to look left, not to look right, when to hit the record button. When we were down in Key West, Florida, we discovered the same air show announcer down there was going to be our announcer here in East Tennessee, Rob Ryder. So we caught up with them to find out what it's like to go behind the scenes of an air show announcer. An air show isn't complete without a knowledgeable announcer explaining what you're seeing in the sky. And for the Smoky Mountain Air Show, that's Rob Ryder. Rob got his start in 1979 while working in television in the Midwest and visiting the Dayton Air Show.
I've always loved flying, and I volunteered, and then the people started saying, well, you've done some TV. Would you come help us out and announce a little bit?
Well, a little announcing over the years turned into a lot, and his resume quickly expanded. He eventually became a pilot himself, which helped explain some of the aviator lingo to the crowds. And because of his knowledge of aircraft and flying, it has made him one of the best-known announcers in the air show industry.
I have the best job in the world because I get to stand up on the stand with the best seat in the house along with the air boss and talk about some of my friends, some great aviators doing amazing things with airplanes.
These types of acts will be here in Knoxville with Rob up front and center.
And here come the Sundowners. We're going to see great aviating at Knoxville, too. With the Blue Angels and everybody else, it's going to be incredible. Matt Yonkin, who is here, he'll be at Knoxville, too. So after, 16 years to be back at Knoxville, that's a pretty cool thing.
We've been talking a lot about how to get you prepared for the Smoky Mountain Air Show. But did you know all the proceeds, all the money left over after everybody gets paid is going to a very special cause? Well, that cause is Honor Air Knoxville. They actually took a group of veterans on a flight to D.C. this morning. Our cameras were there, and we even put a crew on the plane to go along with them.
It is absolutely a humbling experience, really, to see not only the tribute that's being paid to those who made the sacrifice, but it is absolutely a beautiful, it's not commercial. It's almost sacred.
You can see more of their journey to the nation's capital tonight at 11 o'clock. Now, we also spoke with two of the veterans on that flight just after they got word they had been chosen. You can see both of them here getting their first look at the war memorials. We sat down with them to find out how they were feeling before the flight and what the trip means to them.
My best friend, his name is on that wall.
Daniel Campbell is a Vietnam veteran and Purple Heart recipient and has only seen a replica of the War Memorial as a traveling exhibit when it stopped in Alcoa. Even when he made the trip to D.C. himself, the memorial was blocked from public access. The Honor Air flight will be his first time seeing the wall in person in our nation's capital.
It's fascinating for me to have been honored. I feel it is an honor to get to go.
Campbell's best friend, as well as his cousin and several members of his platoon, were killed in action. His goal is to find their names.
I think I have a history with the wall. I was wounded twice. War is rough, and you never know if you're going to make it back or not. And I was one of the fortunate.
Just like Campbell, Korean War veteran Al Hindman Jr. has never visited the war memorials in person. He's only seen them on TV.
And every time I see it, I kind of think back to Korea, you know.
Hindman joined the Air Force at the age of 16, retired when he was 38, and then worked for the UT Police Department. After a lifetime of service, he's getting this special honor.
I'll tell you right now, I'm real appreciative of Honor Air, what they're doing.
Do you think if this wasn't around, would you ever get out to Washington, D.C.?
I doubt it very much.
Which is why founder and chairman Eddie Manis says Honor Air is so important.
I think our mission is pretty simple. It's to honor and serve men and women from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. I would think 98% of the people, the men and women that travel with us, have never seen the memorial.
It costs roughly $60,000 to go to and from the memorials in D.C., so getting this boost from the Smoky Mountain Air Show ensures they'll be able to continue honoring local veterans.
We're grateful for anything. I mean, I think they are expecting that it's going to be a significant amount of money, and I think they have great hopes that it will be. And we certainly hope that it is, but big or small, I mean, we're going to be thankful for whatever it is.
We got the special opportunity to fly with the Blue Angels in their cargo plane, their C-130 named Fat Albert. My photographer, David Dixon, and I strapped in the back there as the pilot did all sorts of maneuvers, testing out to see how strong our stomachs were. Nicknamed Fat Albert, this Marine Corps C-130 carries spare parts, equipment, and 45 maintenance and support personnel from air show to air show while kicking off the Blue Angels demonstration. And for the past year, this big beauty has been piloted by U.S. Marine Corps Captain Katie Higgins, the Blue Angels' first female pilot in the team's 70-year history.
If me being here inspires somebody to try something that they normally wouldn't, then that's great, and I would love to serve that role for somebody.
Captain Higgins is a third-generation military aviator, and before being selected into the Blue Angels, she had 2 deployments, serving in both Afghanistan and in Africa.
Even after a year of doing this, it's still surreal, and to be able to talk to little girls and little boys and tell them that this is a path for them if they would really want to do that. And even if they want to be a doctor or they want to be a lawyer or something like that, as long as we're inspiring excellence in whatever they want to do, I'm doing my job.
We got to ride inside Fat Albert during the Key West Air Show in Florida. Now, on the left of your screen is what you see from the ground. On the right is what's happening inside Fat Albert. Now, watch as the crew here has some fun when the plane hits negative G's. That's that dropping feeling you get in your stomach when the plane levels out. Only here, we drop faster and longer. Captain Higgins also showing combat maneuvers, banking from side to side while pulling positive G's. It felt like we were sideways. Now, to sum it all up, it was a nauseating 8-minute ride, complete with mandatory barf bags, which I would have used if I didn't have a window seat, but one of the wildest, most exciting rides I've ever been on. After this year's air shows, Captain Higgins' time with the Blue Angels will be over. But at only 27 years old, she still has a long military career ahead of her.
It is nostalgic. I am a little sad about it, but I joined the Marine Corps to fly in combat and support those Marines on the ground, and that's what I'm hoping to do once I'm done here and go back to the Marine Corps fleet.
Well, we got the chance to ride inside Fat Albert, a very special Tennessean got a chance to ride in the famous F-18 Hornet with the Blue Angels, the number 7 plane, prior to this weekend's show.
You know, for a great opportunity to take this experience back to my students, just to share with them, this could be you in 4 years once you've completed your degree at Heritage High School. So there's great things out there for them. They've just got to work hard for those.
See how they handle pulling those G-forces when we come back. And don't forget, we still have those air show VIP tickets to give away. How you can win an upgraded experience coming up. Welcome back, everybody. We've shown you the Blue Angels on the ground. We've taken you up in a ride that was wild with Fat Albert. Now we're going to take you inside the cockpit of an F-18 Hornet flown by the Blue Angels. Now, lucky East Tennessean got a chance to fly in the number 7 plane, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Just amazing. It's awesome.
Is that awesome?
It's awesome. Just kind of takes your breath away.
This Heritage High School principal is about to get the ride of his life.
It's hard to believe. And, you know, when you get the email saying that you're able to go fly in the jet and then you're actually walking on the tarmac.
Jake Jones is about to hop into a real-life fighter jet, getting this opportunity after being nominated for his influential role as a local educator. Now, when his school found out he was going to fly with the Blue Angels, his coolness shot way up.
Now, I had a student stand beside me and said, "Are you really doing that?" And I told him, I said, "Yes, sir."
Before walking out to the F-18, Jones was briefed on the flight and taught how to handle the G-forces. A breathing technique while tensing your stomach and leg muscles. Then he got to inspect the plane.
I like that thrill and the excitement and the unknown and speed.
This could be once in a lifetime, isn't it?
That's right, yes, sir.
One last briefing in the cockpit.
Squeeze that trigger, rotate it towards you, boom, arm in the back, all right?
And it's time to go. An exhilarating takeoff. Ready, hit it. And a flight mimicking much of the performance you'll see this weekend at the Smoky Mountain Air Show. All caught on camera using a GoPro inside the cockpit. 45 minutes of high-speed barrel rolls, loops, dips, and climbs, and then it's back on the ground again.
Unbelievable. You know, there's no way that I could have prepared myself for this journey. Just the demands that it puts on your body, in your mind, and just preparing, you know, even with the hic breathing and that sort of thing, you know, you're just not ready for those turns and those pulls.
There we
The rest of the Blue Angels team will be here tomorrow morning. That's planes 1 through 6. They're the ones that are actually going to be participating in the performance both Saturday and Sunday at the Smoky Mountain Air Show. Now, number 7, the pilot, Lieutenant Tyler Davies, he'll be actually announcing during their performances. That's our show, everybody, but the coverage continues tomorrow morning when the Blue Angels fly into town, and, of course, throughout the weekend as we cover every aspect of the Smoky Mountain Air Show. Here's a look at the schedule. Parking opens at 8 o'clock in the morning. Air show gates open at 10. Opening ceremonies are then scheduled for 11. Now, the aerial performances will begin at noon, and then everything should wrap up at around 4. Now, be sure to stop in and say hi if you'll be out there. And don't forget, you can get another look at all of our air show stories on WATE.com. Just look for the Countdown to the Air Show. And now what you've all been waiting for, a chance to win 1 parking pass and 4 VIP Community Chalet tickets. Now, I hope you've been paying attention this past half hour because we posted a question to our Facebook page at WATE6 on your side. Now, the first person to get the correct answer in the comment section wins the tickets. Good luck out there, and we'll see you at the Smoky Mountain Air Show.